Hello, I'm Finola from Research as a Service, and welcome to our 2022 Outlook series. Today, our focus is on pet-aligned online marketplace and SaaS platform, Paws Holdings, ASX ticker MPA. And joining us is Managing Director and Co-Founder, Justus, and my colleague, John Burgess. Welcome to you both. And John,
Thanks,
I'm going to hand over to you for questions.
Thank you. Justus, I guess one of the most impressive things I've found in the last 6 months, given all the disruptions that your business has incurred with lockdowns, and obviously that limits the ability for people to travel and therefore get their pets minded, was the fact that you still gain customers. In fact, 20% increase in customers over the last 6 months. I guess two questions. One is, do you think in a more normal environment, if there is such a thing, that can accelerate? And two, where are those customers? Where are you getting those customers from? How do you find, what's the avenues of those customers?
Yeah, sure. Well, thanks for having me. And yeah, it's been a bit of a challenging time, obviously, particularly for our marketplace at the beginning of the COVID environment, where people were staying at home and not traveling. But I think what kind of offset that now over the last 6 months or even longer was the huge amount of new pets that are out there, right? I mean, there's a lot of new pet owners out there. I'm sure you know somebody that's got a COVID puppy in that time. And obviously, while hopefully we're all going back to a little bit more of a normality in terms of traveling, people now need to find a way on what to do with those pets. And we hope obviously that people are doing the right thing and look after the pets in the right way, which means that if they come back to work, or whether they are actually starting traveling again, those are the times when they need our service. They need somebody to look after the pet, and we can help with over 30,000 local pet sitters in our area. And so that's what we've seen over the last couple of months kind of playing out. We've seen a huge incline in terms of customers using our platform. And we've still seen a smaller average GMV than what we've seen pre-COVID times. And that kind of tells us there's a lot of customers out there that need our service, but the kind of service that they're using us for at the moment is still more the daytime services, daycare, dog walking, and maybe some local travel. But the big travel, the 3-week overseas travel, is still not where it was before COVID. And so that's what we're seeing going back to normality over the next couple of months, and where we see a bit of a double whammy for us in terms of growth. So the number of customers still out there, much bigger. We have much more transactions than we used to have before COVID, and that number is steadily growing. And at the same time, we see the average GMV going back to the numbers pre-COVID.
Can you see from your platform whether these new customers are new pet owners? Is that do you have visibility on that?
Yeah, we do. So, for a lot of our customers, we know the pet they have. Is it a dog? Is it a cat? What kind of breed is it? And also, we know the age of those pets that sign up with us. And so, for example, for the for our Waggly business, which is the toys and treats subscription business that we have, over 50% of our new customers are actually signing up for the puppy box. So that's an indication on kind of how many new pet owners are out there. And on the other side, on the marketplace, what we're seeing is a huge amount of new customers coming through our organic channels that might find us through some of the content that we have now about pet ownership. What to do with the pet when you get them, how do you train them, what's the right food for them. So all those are indications about the amount of pet ownership and new pet ownership that's out there, and how many puppies and new puppy owners are out there.
You mentioned Waggly. You've made 2 acquisitions in the last 12 months, and you've got a balance sheet that supports more. And I think your ambitions are to make further acquisitions. What do you look for when in an acquisition that suits Paws?
Yeah, sure. So look, for the whole investment thesis and our kind of theory and kind of why this business is great is using the marketplace, right? And we've got over 120,000 paying customers on the marketplace now. We've got over 16,000 transactions a month coming through the marketplace. that really for us is the engine of growing other businesses around that, right? And so this was the reason we started Dinner Bowl, which is the pet food subscription business, and we did the acquisitions with Waggly and Sashbads to, not just have great standalone businesses, but really something that we can fire up with the marketplace and accelerate the growth for those businesses. And so that's one of the key things that we're looking at for new acquisitions as well. Is it has to fit the customer profile that we have. That's why we're quite interested in the whole health space now. Looking at the customers that we have, we know they're very concerned about the well-being of their pets, right? They spend more money on their pets than your average pet owner, and that's really something that fits really well in the health space, right? We see this playing out quite often, that you have a trend in kind of the human space, right? We've all been much more aware now over the last 10, 20 years and kind of what we eat and what we do in terms of medication, supplements, and so forth. And I think that's something that's going to flow through to the pet market now as well. And we feel like we've got a really good match there with the customers that we already have, really concerned about their pets, want to not just make sure that they get exercised well, and get fed well, but also making sure that they are getting the right supplements so they can live as long as possible and as healthy as possible. So that's where we feel we've got a really good match with our existing database, and we can accelerate a new business. And whether that's something we build ourselves or whether it's an acquisition remains to be seen. But we feel like that's a really good match for us.
And I guess longer term, you've got a marketplace business, which was the core business, still is, and then you've got these subscription businesses. Where do you see the mix of the two, in 5 years' time?
Yeah, so we still see a lot of growth in the marketplace, right? And for now, if you think about the marketplace, it's now about $25 million in GMV run rate. We take now 29% as our take rate of the GMV of the marketplace, and so the net revenue that comes through the marketplace then is pretty much gross margin, right? I mean that's kind of a net margin, so that's kind of what we're walking away with, minus a little bit of payment cost. Now, from a revenue perspective, the subscription businesses are picking up quite significantly there, right? And they're a big contributor to our revenue line. It'll take a little while until they get to the same levels of net margin contribution, right? So that's something that we're quite aware of. But I think so. And if you think about it that way, the marketplace has been kind of doubling pretty much year on year pre-COVID, and that's something we want to get back to. There's still a lot of growth in that. We've got over 6 million households in Australia now with a pet, whether it's a cat or a dog. We've got 120,000 paying customers on the side, so you can see that we're really kind of scratching the surface there in terms of size. So there's still a huge amount of growth for us to be had on the marketplace, and we've really kind of worked out the growth for that business, right? We're the clear number one in Australia, and we want to keep growing that business. So the subscription businesses, I think, and the additional businesses that we want to add to it are going to be really supplementary to the growth, but we see the marketplace kind of as the central point on where the growth is generated and where a lot of the value for the company is generated as well. So we still feel like the marketplace is the star of the show, so to speak, for the next couple of years. But obviously, we'll if we find another business that has significant growth in it, we'll obviously we'll be willing to invest in it and support that growth as much as we can.
Well, Justus, we're looking forward to catching up with you through the course of 2022 to check on Mad Paws Holdings' progress. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you, John.
Thank you for having me.